With that, I mean, starting to then get into the NBA aspect of it, how different was it when starting to work with the Wizards and now kind of being, almost straddling this fence and working in these two different areas? How different did things get when now you're going to while Ovechkin helped the Capitals become a global brand, especially through Russia and everything that's going, like, in Europe, obviously they play hockey there, Canada, but what was it like then going to the NBA where it's a truly, they're in India, they're in China every year. What was it like going to this even bigger global brand with now stars like John Wall and Bradley Beal?
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely under a microscope more because now you're looking, everything's on a national level. I mean, it was, like I said, I got lucky a bit with Ovi and Backstrom. When I jumped over to the Wizards side, that's when Wall was really taking off and they drafted Beal. And, similar to when I was on the Cap side, they relaunched the red, white, and blue, going back to more of like a bullets view to it. But, it was a team that, no success since the 70s for the most part. And so that was tough because now you're fighting for that national attention. You've got the LeBrons and the Durants and all of those guys and trying to get, John on that national stage, but you still got to focus locally. I mean, that's what it all comes down to. You got to sell tickets. You got to build that base, but they're very different fan bases. It's much different. There is something of, DC fans are, Wizards and Caps. Those do exist, but for the most part, the strategies that you're going after with ticket sales, the sponsorship products, the flow of the game is just so different. The environment's so different. And so you can't leverage them together as much as you would like to. Mm-hmm. I mean, we were fortunate that Ovi and John would do a lot of stuff together, especially around the holidays and as much as we could get them together. But for the most part, it's two completely different strategies. So that was the challenge of it, is making them both successful. Fortunately, back to the cannibalization issue, you didn't have that so much. People weren't really picking between a Caps game and a Wizards game. I mean, there are some of the, long-term DC fans that might be, but it's such a transient city too. You don't really have the lifelong fanhood that you get in a New York and a Philly. I mean, it exists, but not nearly to the extent. You've got a lot of people that came down, especially when the Caps were new. I mean, not new, but, when they were sort of becoming good, you had people that they're a Flyers fan, they're a Caps fan unless they play the Flyers, they're a Caps fan unless they play the Rangers, because and there's a lot of that, all around both sides. The Wizards were similar, Lakers fans, Celtics fans, there's a lot of those in the market that will they gravitate to the Wizards to trying to capitalize them and really kind of trying to convert that over. But that was the biggest challenge between the two is running two in-market campaigns and getting people excited about it when you couldn't entirely leverage them together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's hockey and basketball. It's always interesting because they're, especially come playoff time. It's always like kind of opposite nights almost. Like, okay, who's playing tonight? Okay, it's hockey tonight. All right, let's get in the mindset of hockey. And then the next night, it's like, all right, this is basketball. It's just completely different, especially that kind of 2-week period of the finals in a normal world, which I think we'd be coming up to in, only like about a month at this point, not even. It's just always very interesting. And I thoroughly enjoy it. Just kind of that opposite back and forth. Like, hey, we got some incredible playoff game going every night. But especially as you were saying, like on a Tuesday in February when the Wizards aren't that great. And, that just of like, how did you go about just trying to get, I guess you said you don't want to cannibalize yourself. You can't really utilize the two teams together. How difficult was it for you? You kind of alluded to it before, but learning an entire new set of strategies or learning to do things completely different after everything you were doing at the Capitals was an absolute success in everyone else's book.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, there's not a lot of difference between the tactics that you use. Mm-hmm. It's more, that's where the analytics really come into play. Who are you going after, in what media, with what message? But, at the end of the day, marketing is marketing. And so we were able to leverage a lot of learnings and how we analyze things really together. Mm-hmm. And it was interesting when I jumped over the Wizards side, they were in a similar position with the Caps. So when I first started the Caps, it was, all right, we got to sell. Rangers are coming on a Friday. We got to sell that game out. We got to kill it. And then eventually it was, that game's going to sell out. All right, Tuesday against Florida. Let's focus on that one. Mm-hmm. And so, Wizards became similar of, let's make sure we sell out the weekend games. If we can sell out half the season, that's going to be awesome. Lakers on a Saturday, yeah, you're good. Yeah, Memphis on a Tuesday, we don't focus as much. Well, but then when that became the only games you weren't selling out, you could switch to that. and really focus more on that. So knowing when to spend those dollars and where to go after it. And, we took a lot of learnings from the Caps in-game entertainment. We got a lot of praise for that, transitioning some of that over to the Wizards, and, because the in-game piece of it, across the NBA is huge. And so, really making it a part of the show, and how we focused on that and using the court as a stage. That was nice that, with hockey, you can't really do that. With the NBA, you've got your own stage right there to do whatever you want to with it every break, every halftime, pregame, whatever. So it really opens up, the entertainment aspect of it too. And can give people an added value, even if the team's not doing as good, you're at least going to come out and have fun. And that was always our goal. Hopefully the team wins, but if nothing else, you're going to see exciting stars, you're going to get entertained, and hopefully that'll keep bringing you back.